بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد، يا عباد الله، قال العلامة إمام عثيمين رحمه الله تعالى: أيها الناس اتقوا الله. O people, fear Allah, have fear of Allah Azza wa Jal. وَاغْرِسُوا فِيمَا بَيْنَكُمْ نَوَى الْمَحَبَّةِ فِي اللَّهِ, and implant or plant amongst yourselves the drive of loving for the sake of Allah. وَجَعَلُوا مَحَبَّتَكُمْ تَابِعَةً لِمَا يُحِبُّهُ رَبُّكُمْ, and make your love that which follows that which is beloved unto your Lord. Make your love that which follows and it coincides to that which your Lord loves. I want us to pay very close attention, ya ibad, because often is the cases that we say that we love. Often is the cases that we claim that we love. But the question has to be asked, for whose sake do we love? How do we love? And whom is it that we love? The Imam, rahimahullah ta'ala, he says that we have to make our love following that which Allah loves. فِيمَا أَحَبُّهُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْأَعْمَالِ, that which Allah loves from actions. So we should love those actions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. And by default is the opposite. We should hate those actions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He hates. Let us reflect on this as relates to ourselves. Are we those who busy themselves with actions, with deeds that are beloved unto Allah Azza wa Jal? Or are we individuals who indulge in sins, transgressions, oppression, lying, deceit, and the like? Those things in which Allah Ta'ala He hates. Are we those who we busy ourselves with that which is beloved unto Allah? Or do we busy ourselves with that which Allah Ta'ala He does not love? But we should love those actions that Allah loves. And thus this will necessitate us trying to do these actions in abundance. وَالْأَشْخَاص, and individuals whom they possess the characteristics of those whom Allah loves. Because as relates to a specific, particular individual, Allahu a'lam whether Allah loves that person or not. However, we know those characteristics that Allah Ta'ala loves. Those characteristics of righteousness. Those characteristics of having taqwa and fear of Allah Azza wa Jal. Those characteristics of loving the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Those characteristics of being upon the sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So therefore, we should be around individuals who are possessors of these praiseworthy characteristics. And we should run away from those individuals who are possessors of the blameworthy characteristics. Those individuals who adorn themselves with the characteristics that has been described inside of the Sharia as being those characteristics in which Allah Ta'ala He hates. Those characteristics in which Allah Ta'ala He is not pleased with. So we should love those who possess the praiseworthy characteristics. We should want to be around them. We should want to accompany them. These are the only ones who we should take as friends. When amkina, and those amakin, those places that Allah Ta'ala loves, then we should love these places. Those places that Allah Ta'ala loves, we should love these places. So the Imam, he says, فَأَحِبُّوهُ. So therefore we love these things. We love that which Allah Ta'ala He loves. فَإِنَّ النَّبِيِّ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ سُئِلَ عَنْ رَجُلٍ يُحِبُّ الْقَوْمَ لِمَا يَلْحَقَ بِهِمْ. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he was asked about a man who loved the people due to what he saw they had with them, or he loved the people due to that which was with them. فَقَالَ النَّبِيُّ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Al-mar'u ma'a man ahab." That a man will be with the one who he loves. I want you to listen to this very closely. That a man will be with those whom he loves. A man will be with the one who he loves. So we have to be very careful to make sure that we love those who are righteous. Because as the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned, a man will be with the one who he loves. So if we find ourselves loving individuals who are not righteous, then we are in trouble. If we find ourselves being inclined towards individuals who are not righteous, being inclined towards individuals who are habitual in their disobedience unto Allah Azza wa Jal, then we are in trouble. If we find ourselves loving individuals who are open sinners, then we are in trouble. Rather, we should be of those who love those who are upon righteousness, who love those who are upon correctness, who love those who are religious. And if we find that we have a disdain, if we find that we have a disdain and a dislike and a displeasure for those who are religious unto Allah Azza wa Jal, then we are in trouble. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said that a man will be with the one who he loves. Imam Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, وَذَلِكَ أَنَّ مَحَبَّةَ الْإِنسَانِ لِلشَّيْءِ يُوجَبُ مِيلُهُ إِلَيْهِ. He said, because a man loving something, then it will necessitate his leaning towards it. When an individual loves something, it will necessitate that he inclines towards it. وَإِرَادَتُهُ لَهُ, and that he wants it, he craves it, and so on and so forth. فَإِذَا كَانَ الرَّجُلُ مُحِبًّا لِلَّهِ. So therefore, if a man, if he truly loves Allah Azza wa Jal, صَارَ مُتَّبِعًا لِأَوَامِرِ اللَّهِ, then he will be an individual who he follows the commands of Allah. Because again, an individual, he will incline to that which he loves. He will lean towards that which he loves. He will intend that which he loves. So if he truly loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if he truly loves Allah Azza wa Jal, then he will lean, he will be inclined to what? To fulfilling the commandments that Allah Ta'ala has made upon him. He will be an individual who he will do that which Allah has commanded him to do. He will live his life the way that Allah Ta'ala commanded him to live his life. Meaning what? He will talk in a manner that is beloved unto Allah Azza wa Jal. So his speech will be affected by his love for Allah. So he will speak in a manner that's beloved unto Allah. He will act in a manner that's beloved unto Allah. He will look at things that Allah Ta'ala loves and what Allah Ta'ala is pleased with, and he will avert his vision, he will avert his sight from that which Allah Ta'ala does not love nor is he pleased with. He would put his ear to that which Allah Ta'ala loves and that which Allah Ta'ala is pleased with, and he will avert his hearing from that which Allah does not love nor is he pleased with. He is an individual who he will do and fulfill the commandments that Allah Ta'ala has made upon him. As the Imam, he goes on, he say, لِأَنَّهُ يَرْجُو بِذَلِكَ الْوُصُولِ إِلَى مَحْبُوبِهِ. He says, because by doing all of it, what is a man trying to accomplish? By obeying Allah Azza wa Jal, what is he trying to accomplish? He's trying to reach the one who he loves. He's trying to reach the one who he loves, and that is Allah Azza wa Jal. So therefore he will be obedient unto Allah Azza wa Jal. وَإِذَا كَانَ الرَّجُلُ مُحِبًّا رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم حرص بقدر محبته على معرفة سنته. And if a man loves the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he will strive to the full of his, or he will strive to the extent of his love to know about the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَالْعَمَلُ بِهَا, and to work in accordance to the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَالتَّأَسِّي وَالْإِقْتِدَاءُ بِهِ أو بها, and he will strive to take the Sunnah as his model, as his example, and he will strive his best to imitate the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لأن هذا من ضرورة المحبة الصادقة, because striving to learn about the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, striving to act in accordance to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, striving to take the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ as our example, our model, to take it as our model by way in which we live our lives. All of this is necessitated, and it is incumbent. This is necessitated by what? By truly loving the Prophet ﷺ. This is that which the true love of the Prophet ﷺ necessitates. That when an individual truly loves the Prophet ﷺ, he strives to be like the Prophet ﷺ. He strives to learn about the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. How in the world can we say we truly love the Prophet ﷺ, but we don't even try to learn anything about his Sunnah? How in the world can we say we truly love the Prophet ﷺ and we don't even try to learn about his biography, learn about his life, learn about how he used to interact with the people, learn about how he used to believe, learn about how he used to worship, so on and so forth. Why? So that we may imitate the Prophet ﷺ, so we may be like the Prophet ﷺ, so that we may do as the Prophet ﷺ used to do. Because when you truly love someone, this is what you try to do. When you truly love someone, you try to be like that individual. When you truly love someone, you try to mold your life like the way like the way their lives were. This is if we truly love the Prophet ﷺ. When one of us looks at this, he looks at this standard, he looks at this frame of reference, then he has to ask himself, do we really love the Prophet ﷺ? وَأَنْ يَعْمَلْ الْمُحِبُّ مِثْلَ عَمْلِ الْمَحْبُوبِ, that an individual who loves someone, then he will act in the same manner that the one he loved used to act. He will act in a manner of the one who is beloved unto him. فَإِذَا كَانَ مُحِبًّا لِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ حَرِصَ بِقَدْرِ مَحَبَّتِهِ عَلَى نَشْرِ سُنَّتِهِ. If a person truly loves the Prophet ﷺ, then he will be diligent in accordance to his love of the Prophet ﷺ on spreading the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. وَهَدْيِهِ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, and spreading the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ amongst the people, showing the people this is how the Prophet ﷺ used to act, this is what the Prophet ﷺ used to do, this is how the Prophet ﷺ believed, this was the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ, spreading that amongst the people, sharing that with the people. وَعَلَى ذَوْءِ دُونِهَا بِمَا يَسْتَطِيعُ مِنَ الْمَالِ وَالْبَيَانِ وَالنَّفْسِ, and he will strive to the full extent of his ability to defend the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, financially, eloquently, Meaning he will strive with his money. He will strive with his money to spread the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. With his articulations and his eloquence. So he will speak to people about the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the beauty and the way of the Prophet ﷺ, the benefit for mankind that is contained inside of the way of the Prophet ﷺ, so on and so forth. And with himself. And he will strive with himself. He will strive with all the extent of what he has to share with the people the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and to defend the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ from the attacks that come from the disbelievers, from the attacks that come from the hypocrites. He will strive against them with all that he has, from beautiful expressions, from spinning in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal. Strive by exerting himself in defending the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. This is just a glimpse of what it means to love the Prophet ﷺ. This is just a glimpse of the way in which an individual should be, who truly loves Allah, who truly loves his messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who truly love Allah, those who truly love Allah Azza wa Jal. لأن الشأن, because the affair is not that we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but the affair is that we are loved by Allah Azza wa Jal. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us of those who truly love him, who truly love his messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to make us of those who, when they meet him, are those who are beloved by him Jalla wa ala. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروا فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. يا عباد الله, we often hear upon the tongues how much they love Allah, how much they love the Prophet ﷺ, how much they love the believers. But it's unfortunate and sad indeed that we don't see the reality nor illustrations of these claims. If we truly love the Muslims, and we should ask ourselves, do we truly love the Muslims? Do we truly love the believers? Imam Uthaymin, rahimahullah ta'ala, he explains some aspects and characteristics of those who truly love the believers. And each one of us can answer in ourselves. We know. And if we don't know, maybe we'll find out. We can make the answer to ourselves. إِذَا كَانَ مُحِبًّا لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, if an individual truly loves the believers, حرص بقدر محبته لهم على إيصال الخير إليهم, then he will strive to the degree of his love to spread the good to the Muslims, to make sure that the good reaches the Muslims. وَدَفْعَ الشَّرْ عَنْهُمْ, and to repel evil from them, to help them, to repel evil from them. Ya ibad, do I have to remind us of how many Muslims are refugees living inside of refugee camps, don't have homes, have very little food, very little access to clean water, and we go to bed with fat bellies, well satiated, finely clad. Maybe don't even think about our brothers and our sisters. They will strive to repel evil from reaching them. وَكَانَتْ أَلَامُهُمْ أَلَامًا لَهُ, and their pain is his pain. Their pain is his pain. When you see the pain of the little children, what they're going through, that doesn't strike you, that doesn't touch you. When you see the pain that little kids is going through, let alone those who have lost their lives to conflict, those who have been maimed by the conflict. That don't touch you, something's wrong with you. How do you really love the Muslims? وَأَمَالُهُمْ أَمَانًا لَهُ, and their hopes and their aspirations are his hopes and aspirations. He wants for them good, the good that he wants for himself. So therefore, when the love is true, what he tries to help them in that, help them in accomplishing the accomplishment of that, help them towards that which will be beneficial for them. إِذَا كَانَ مُحِبًّا لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, if he truly loves the believers, كَانَ حَرِيصًا بِقَدْرِ مَحَبَّتِهِ لَهُمْ عَلَى انتصار لهم وظهورهم. If he truly loves the believers, then he will strive to the accordance, he will be diligent to the accordance of his love for them, to try to bring victory to the believers, to try to bring victory unto them. وَأَن تَكُونَ كَلِمَةُ الْعُلْيَا لَهُمْ, and that the high word is for them, that the victory is for the Muslims, the high word is for the Muslims. وَأَن يَخْذِلَ كُلَّ مَنْ قَامَ ضِدَّ عَقِيدَتِهِمْ وَدَعْوَتِهِمْ, and he will strive to make sure that he abandons, he forsakes, he leaves, he disassociates himself from everyone who stands against the Muslims, who stands against their aqidah, who stands against their call. He will not be huggy-duggy, lovey with them or whatever. He will not be their friend with them. He will not join with them. He will not want to look like them, walk like them, talk like them, be like them. But he will disassociate himself with the likes of these individuals. He will disassociate himself with all those who stand against, contrary, against the Muslims. You won't find him loving the enemies of the Muslims. You won't find him trying to emulate and imitate the enemies of the Muslims. But you will find that he will be against them. He will be one who has forsaken them. He will be one who has abandoned them. Those who stand against the call of al-Islam, those who stand against the aqidah of al-Islam. How in the world could you join hands and kumbaya with an individual who is against al-Islam, is against the spread of Islam, is against the aqidah Islamiyah? How are you going to stand in union with the likes of this individual? How are you going to stand in concert with the likes of this individual? But we love the believers, right? فالمحبة فمحبة الله ورسوله وعباده المؤمنين. So the true love for Allah and of his messenger and for Allah's servants, his believing servants. هي أساس فلاح في الدنيا والآخرة. This is the source of success in this world and the next. Truly loving Allah and his messenger and the believers, this is the source and foundation of success in this world and in the next. وَهِيَ أَوْثَقُ عُرَى الْإِيمَانِ, and this is the strongest illustration of Iman. This is the strongest trait of faith, the strongest trait of true faith. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, in case a person is wondering, what is the full reality of loving the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم? The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, none of you truly believes until I become more beloved to him than his parents, than his children, and all of mankind. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he said, ثلاث. There are three. There are three. من كن فيه وجد بهن حلاوة الإيمان. There are three characteristics that whoever has these characteristics in him, then he will taste the sweetness of faith. Then he will taste the sweetness of faith. What are these characteristics? The Prophet ﷺ, he said, أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. Firstly, that Allah and his messenger are more beloved to him than anything else. That Allah and his messenger are more beloved to him than anything else. Is Allah and his messenger more beloved to us than anything else? That's a question we have to ask. You answer to yourself. Is Allah and his messenger more beloved to us than anything else? وَأَن يَحِبُّ الْمَرْءُ, and that he loves somebody. And that he loves somebody. I want you to look at those who you love. I want you to look at those who you love. those who you love and you go to bat for them. I want you to look at the one who you love. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, وَإِنْ يَحِبُّ الْمَرْءُ لَا يَحِبُّهُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ. In that he loves the individual, but he only loves him for the sake of Allah. He loves him, but he loves him for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. He don't love him because he think this person can help him out in the dunya. He don't love him because this person give him dunya. He don't love him because he think he can get some type of advancement by being friends and associates with this particular individual. He don't love this individual because the individual help him do haram. He don't love this individual because the individual is a party of his and doing that which is wrong. No, he loves the individual for Allah. He loves him for Allah, lillah, which means that he will love those who are righteous, those who help him in doing that which is right, those who remind him about Allah when he forgets, those who help him remember Allah when he remembers, those who will help him in doing what's right, those who will take his hand when he's doing what's wrong and stop him from doing the wrong, those who would advise him when he's wrong, those who will call him to account, call a spade if it needs to be called a spade when he's wrong. Not those who co-sign his filth, not those who co-sign his wrong, not those who go along with him and appease him when he's wrong, but those who will tell him that he's wrong, will love him enough to tell him he's wrong, will love him enough to tell him you're going to be in trouble if you keep doing what you're doing when you meet your Lord. Those who love him enough to tell him you better fear Allah and stop that what you're doing. Those who truly love him. Because when you truly love someone, you help them be successful. When you truly love someone, you don't help them be unsuccessful. When you truly love someone, you don't help them get in trouble with Allah Azza wa Jal. When you truly love someone, you don't help them go to hell. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, وَأَنْ يَقْرَهَ أَنْ يَعُودَ فِي الْكُفْرِ بَعْدَ أَنْ أَنْقَذَهُ اللَّهُ مِنْهُ كَمَا يَقْرَهُ أَنْ يُقْذَفَ فِي النَّارِ. He said in that, he hates, استمعوا, that he hates to go back to disbelief after Allah has saved him from it. I want you to listen to this now. Everybody who want to act like the kuffar, be like the kuffar, dress like them, walk like them, talk like them, listen to this. Is that he hates to return to kufr after Allah saved him from it. Just like he hates to be thrown inside a fire. Just like he hates to be thrown inside of a fire. How much can we say we really hate kufr and then we try to be like the kuffar? How much we can really expect people to believe us when we say, yes, I hate kufr, it's so disgusting and so despicable, yet I want to act like everybody who's upon kufr? That makes sense? You think somebody's going to buy that? وقال حبر الأمة وترجمان القرآن عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنهما. He said, من أحب في الله وأبغض في الله ووالى في الله وعاد في الله فإنما تنال ولاية الله بذلك ولن يجد عبد طعم الإيمان وإن كثرت صلاته وصومه حتى يكون كذلك. He said that a man or an individual loving Allah, hating for Allah, joining with people and uniting with them for Allah, having enmity for the sake of Allah. He said, then verily with that an individual he will reach the state of being a wali of Allah. That's how a person become wali of Allah, by hating for the sake of Allah, loving for the sake of Allah, having connection and allegiance for the sake of Allah, by having disassociation for the sake of Allah, and enmity for Allah's sake, not impersonal but for Allah's sake. Only with that would an individual become a wali of Allah. And listen to what Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, listen what he said for the case the person is thinking that, oh, this is a little thing, or he want to downplay this thing. Look at what he said. He said, in that a slave, he will never taste iman, no matter how much his salah is, no matter how much he prays, no matter how much he fasts, he will never taste iman until what? Until he become like that, until he loves for Allah, he hates for Allah. He has his allegiance and loyalties for the sake of Allah, his disassociations and enmities for the sake of Allah. Only when a person is like that will he be able to reach it. No matter how much prayer he do, no matter how much psalm he do, no matter how much fasting he do, he will never reach it until he becomes like that. Ya ibad, we have to look at who we love. For whose sake do we love them? How we love? Why we love? Ya ibad, let us examine our love. Let us love for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Let us love Allah Azza wa Jal. Let us love the Prophet Sallallahu. Let us love Allah and His Messenger by doing that which they commanded us to do, staying away from that which they commanded us to stay away from. Let us love the Prophet Sallallahu by being upon his sunnah, learning about him, trying to be like him, imitating him Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Let us have true love for the Muslims, true love for the believers by helping them when they need the help, making dua for them, giving assistance unto them, by feeling their pain, making their plight our plight, because their plight is our plight. Having dreams and aspirations for their advancement, for their betterment. Let us truly love one another. Let us truly love one another by helping one another into doing that which is right. By reminding one another and stopping one another from doing that which is wrong. By aiding one another when they do that which is correct. By being support for one another for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. Let us truly love one another. Aqimus salat.